Welcome, second graders from Bernard. It's so good for you to be here with me today. This is week 3 of our distance learning, and we are going to be doing reading together this week. The first thing we're going to be doing is looking at a new list of sight words for our story this week. So first of all, we have the word water. Let me remind you that you will be echo reading after me. We'll do this one again. I'll read the word and then you will say the word after me. Okay, you ready? Water. Outside. Town. Even. Maybe. Where. Tomorrow. By. Called. And our last one for today is Father. Good job. Thank you. On Wednesday, we'll be doing a fun activity, and on Friday, we'll also have another activity. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is looking at our closed reader, and by now, if you've been tuning in the first 2 weeks, you will be familiar with our book. Today, we're starting on page 16. You don't have to open your book right now. You can go back later and do that. I will have everything listed for you at the end. So today our story is called Welcome to Westburg. We will start over here on this page 16, and just as you've been doing the last 2 weeks, look at the background section. It'll tell you what you'll be reading about today. Also look at the setting of purpose. And we have here, see Westburg by bus, and this is a symbol of a bus. So you will begin reading on page 17. You will read this section. It says, read, underline the sentence that tells where to get on bus number 33. So read that before you start reading, and as you are reading, you will come to that information, and afterwards you'll be able to find it. If not, go back up there and read it again. At the bottom of the page, after you have read, says reread the story. Reread this story right here, page 17, and it asks you a question. How should visitors to Westburg use the map in this pamphlet? Write it below. And as we've been concentrating on all year, your sentences need to be a complete thought, start with a capital letter, and end with some kind of punctuation. After you're finished with page 17, move on over now to pages 18 and 19, and it looks a little bit different than maybe what you've seen this week so far. This is a map that you'll be looking at, and if it was all straight on one page, it would be together. The first thing you're going to do is reading this information, looking over the map, and it wants you, after you read the first section, to circle the place where the children can find computer games. In order to be able to do that, let's take a look at the map first of all. We have some streets, we have some avenues, we have some places to visit. And one important thing over here is the key. The key will show you pictures that will be on the map to represent some of the places or the streets or a bridge. The first one is a river, and it has blue, and if you will look at the map, here's the Silver River, and it continues on over to the second page. The next thing we have is a bus route. To me, it looks like a dotted line with red and then white all the way across here to the other side of the page and up and over. So make sure you look at that. There's one bridge on here. It's by yellow, the color yellow, and it's just 2 lines each side of the road there. So then you are ready to read these 3 sections, and then you will read down at the bottom. It wants you to reread this information again and then answer this question. How can visitors find the bus route on the map? Write it below. So look back at your information, look at the map, and you'll be able to answer that question. And then we're on to our last page, 19. Number 5, you are going to read the information for 4, 5, and 6, looking at this map. And then you will circle a place on the map that is on Orange Street and White Avenues. So you will need to look closely at these streets and these buildings. After you've read it, look down at the bottom and you've circled your place. Reread, they want you to reread pages 17 through 19. So you will go back over here to Welcome to Westburg, read that section again. Come back over here and review these 3 sections that you looked at and these 3 sections on this page as well. Then they want you to pick one of the places on the map and use the map to tell where this place is. So you would probably want to start over here with the Welcome Center and then just choose which place that you would like to write about. Remember, we're going to use capitalization at the beginning of our sentence and punctuation at the end. You guys are going to do great. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to our grammar. Last week, I know last 2 weeks you've been talking about nouns. Nouns name people, places, things, and animals. And you also went into common and proper nouns. So we're going to go a step further and we're going to be talking about verbs. What is a verb? It's a form of speech that talks about sometimes an action, what has been done. So we're going to look at some words today and we're going to be thinking of some action words. Let's look at the sentence that says the dog. Now, with your knowledge of nouns, what is the noun? It's an animal, isn't it? Dog. Good job. So that's our noun. But now we need to add a verb. The dog what? What did the dog do? The dog barked. So now, what is the action? What did the dog do? He barked. Good job. All right, I'm thinking of another animal. Animals are fun to work with because they do all kinds of actions. The lion, there's only one thing I can think of with the lion. The lion roared. You can let out a big roar at your house. The lion roars. So his action is he roared. Okay, good job. Well, there are some other sight words that you can, action words that you can come up with. Let's think of some more. So here we had barked and roared. So barked, roared. Now, think back at school, or maybe even in your house. How do we like for you to walk in the hallway? I just said it, didn't I? Walk. Sometimes I see boys and girls doing this. Skipping. We get kind of excited and we're ready to get somewhere and we start skipping. You can also think of just different things that we even do at school and you're doing at home now. Have you been writing some words? Or you were told to circle a word? Okay, think of some other things that you might be doing at home. One week, Mrs. Taryn had you draw a bunny and some eggs. What would Mrs. Phillips have you do in your music class? Sing. And I know you know a lot of other action words that you could come up with. So today, my challenge is for you to name 8 to 10 verbs. And if you get stuck and you want to use a few of the ones that we've done together, you can do that as well. So you will either write these 8 to 10 verbs down on paper, or you can tell someone at home the verbs that you have chosen. Okay? I think you guys will do a great job, and so happy to be here with you this week. So for what you are going to be doing today, you're going to be using your closed reader, the pages 16 through 19 that I went through with you. And then you'll review some verbs, write down different verbs. You think about what you're doing at home and what you might be doing outside playing. And you will either write those down or you will go and share those words with someone in your home. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday and we won't have another reading lesson, but you are able to go on Scholastic Learn at Home, and I'm sure you are enjoying those videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I will see you again on Wednesday. Thank you. Have a great day.